This one's about getting
wandering through the epitome of existence. I'm gonna go where the words mean you right.
He sings a deep-throated songbird lullaby for blues and lightning.
This is Barley Rise! What's the beer of the night, Ian? What's the brew of the night? Green Flash, West Coast. Imperial is the brew of the night. Go see Corey. Go see Corey, get yourself some beer, because at the end of the day, this is beer and poetry. So does anyone want to know, like, what's going on here? Anyone?
Yes.
We decided to have a who has the better legs contest. It was his dad's idea.
It was my dad's idea. So I know all y'all are wondering what's going on down here, and the answer is yes.
Yeah. It's a little breezy outside.
We got a toast. All right, so raise those glasses. Grab your beer, let's raise a cheer. Khalif's wearing a kilt. It makes my heart melt to see that guy look so fly on this night of words for cats and birds to get enough of showing their stuff. There's not enough time to keep up this rhyme, so I'll shut up and drink this cup. Cheers!
Cheers.
Let's do some fucking poetry. Oh, Diana's coming up first. Yeah! And Diana is a virgin to barley rhymes.
Oh, sign up anywhere. It doesn't matter. I'm going to choose you first. See, she's got my back.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. I don't have to adjust it myself. All right, you might have heard this if you've been at the cafe, but I wasn't expecting you to go first, so I didn't have time to choose. This is called They Were 50% Off. When I sway my hips, don't whistle, it's tacky. Don't stare, it's desperate. Don't tell me I have beautiful eyes, 'cause you're only staring at my cleavage. When I sway my hips, don't come sauntering over. Don't lean into my space and coo. We should date sometime, as if it's the most generous offer in the world. Don't act as if you're God's gift to women, 'cause I wouldn't gift you to my sworn enemy. When I reject you, don't call me a cock tease. Don't say I gave you blue balls, 'cause you weren't getting any way before I came along. And even though that isn't my fault, I'll take credit for that accusation with pride. Don't say I'm afraid of love, 'cause in truth, I just don't like you. Don't give me a Freudian analysis of how my cynicism stems from an absent father, because my father is just a phone call away, and he's got a gun, a shovel, and a damn good lawyer. When I sway my hips, don't slap an S on your chest and proclaim that you're here to save me, because when you take that Superman pose, I swear to all that is holy, I will kick you so hard in the nuts, you'll be lucky to save one. When I sway my lips, my hips, don't come near me, because I am not beckoning you forward. I am not sending out an invitation. When I sway my hips, I am fighting the wedgie these god-awful Walmart bargain brand panties are causing. And I can only deal with one annoying asshole at a time.
Give me some love. So, hold on. Wait. Alright, so I found this really cool book.
Some Flagstaff drama, sorry. Love you.
Dude, this is a bar doing poetry. I don't care. Get out. We've been doing like poetry, like you guys like. Okay, so I'm sorry. I just got to be emotional because I'm in a kilt, man. You get a little sensitive. when you're in a kilt. And just, man, thank you guys for like just being here and like chilling out. I'm sorry. I hate so late. To my friend who can no longer see animals in the clouds and takes it as a sign of madness, hang on. Keep watch. They must be gathering over the Pacific, great soft herds of elephants in soft patterns and paisley puffs. Curious alligators and horses being pulled apart. That was it. Isn't that crazy? That's it. That's it.
Beer break! Go. Okay, so next, coming up, the man, the myth, the legend, a very, oh, we need to turn off that music. Corey. My favorite bartender in the world is coming up next. He is a fantastic guy, an artist in so many ways. Please give a very warm welcome to our very own Tim Levy.
If you keep giving me an introduction like that, I won't even need to masturbate anymore, so... I need booze for this. Oh, sorry.
Get it?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
When I looked at you past the rainbows and tracers, I saw tulips. My head split and scrambled, Harvey Dent and his lucky fucking coin. Half of my head, dirt and fertilizer, a seed planted under my tongue to wait and grow and expand. The other, open and empty air. I closed my eyes, head sharing a pillow. You kissed me and watered the filth. The bulb opened and began to sprout. When I looked at you, past the rainbows and tracers, a tulip grew and sprouted out of my mind. And if you know anything about tulips, you know it means believe me. Believe me. Tulips mean believe me. And I believe in flower power.
Tim MF and Levy, everybody. Give it up for Tim one more time. So I'm going to impress Ian. Ian, I know who's next too without looking at the paper. Eric, come on down. Everyone give it up for Eric.
Hello. This is a poem that I wrote today. It's called Tornado Strikes Illinois! Exclamation mark. He gave his hollow bones to the Flagstaff Flute Society. He bequeathed the rest of his insides to the National Organ Players Union, and now his skin was naked on both sides. And like this, having become music, W.M. Tipton started for the North Pole. After the first week, Tipton began to show signs of combustion, and soft, condensed breath would drift out of his nose and between his teeth. Witnesses tell amazing stories of the electric man with the glowing irises and the ability to hum 2 different notes at once. One witness describes the wanderer's voice as resembling underwater cathedral bells of diamond and linen, though others maintain that the man has never said a word. The one trait that all witnesses agree upon is his seemingly supernatural ability to reach up and unravel shoelaces from telephone lines. He has also been said to mend cracks in the road with a stroke of the finger and to coax airplanes out of the flight paths of birds. There are reports of children doing well on their math homework coincident with sightings of Tipton nearby. There are further reports of cats deciding to come down from trees, and an inexplicable rise in the amount of Dutch tulips purchased from floral shops, also coinciding with sightings of Tipton. One footprint caught in wet cement, believed to be his, has become a site of pilgrimage for bumblebees, and is filled with honey at all times. One man who insists he heard Tipton sneeze has started the W.M. Tipton Sinus Cleansing Emulators of America group, which is now well known for sneezing loudly in public and distributing leaflets. One town Tipton may have been through saw a dramatic increase in males' ability to grow attractive facial hair. A second town claims that his visit led to their 200% increase in the longevity of goldfish. And another town he is said to have passed through elected a 12-year-old girl named Sally as mayor. Sally tells us she adores Pop-Tarts, loves to dance, cuddle with her pet corgi, doesn't like Brussels sprouts, and hopes to reduce the unemployment rate by 20% by next October. After the second week, the weather began to change. The cats went back up in the trees and began to whimper. Cracks began to spread in the road and were filled with rain. We were no longer the stuff that dreams were made of. The reports came from the north of great things, and we dreamed anyways. Most of us had long forgotten what W.M. Tipton looked like, that he was naked on both sides and had a shaved head, and shoes had long since made their way back up to the telephone wires. But we noted reports of Tipton and shared them with each other. The whispers he left us remained, huddled under growing winds and falling rain. But from the north came stories of beautiful things. Small towns in Canada reported the blooming of flowers out of the tips of snowbanks, and lawnmowers were heard for the first January in 15 years. School buses found that they could run on water alone, and the northern lights began to slowly march southward. Large areas of Russia began to melt, and as a result, Hawaii was underwater by the end of the week. But stories continued to flood in of a tall electric man marching northward by the side of the highway, breath pouring out of his nostrils, and music slamming cracks in the road, clouds bursting with cries of Valhalla. And the first photographs were being taken, showing W.M. Tipton marching with purposed stride towards white polar clouds. Behind him, a mob of wild animals and birds and escaped domestic pets, and even small naked children singing marching songs. At night, from our bedroom windows, the north horizon glowed. Tornadoes roared and hurricanes beat the coasts, and rain washed away the honey from the footprints, and we had nothing but visions of our heroes' hollow bones as flutes. Tipton began to break apart at the joints, and soon he was more light than skin, and his eyes became stars, and the stubble on his scalp and cheeks began to glow, and the soles of his feet pulled up the ground, and metal stuck to his sides, and before long the man electric was nothing more than a fragment of sun, and satellite photographs showed the North Pole glowing as bright as New York City at night. And then we heard a voice thunder from the north horizon saying, "I am W.M. Tipton. Look for my grave in the Citizen Cemetery of Flagstaff. Look for my hollow bones in your symphonies and my organs in your churches and my footprints in your sidewalk and my memory in your bee colonies. I, having become music, have conquered the North Pole, and now I'm leaving Earth for other things. Be music like me. Music can take shoes from off telephone wires and mend cracks in the road, unless a crack in the road is what you want. Anyways, goodbye." And the light went out just like that. And this is how music was responsible for the unusual amount of tornadoes in Illinois that season.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a warm applause.
Thank God that man came through the door. Who are you? What's your name? Hawk. Hawk, everybody! Woo! All right, awesome. That was amazing. All right, well, sitting in a very comfortable 8th place is a good man. He is a slayer of ninjas and a haiku dominator of life. Coming on up is John Q.
Hey, hello, hi, hey, hi, hello. So these are all very short because I respect you. And, you know, if you're anything like me, then you know the sort of like cool, humbling sensation of like, you know, spending a Saturday night in your bed surrounded by Chick-fil-A boxes while, you know, trying to catch up on once. While your pet rabbit stares at you unmoving, but you know, judgingly, at your bedside table. And you know, at this point, you're probably saying to yourself, well, that's what you get for doing all your taxidermy by yourself. But one of the ways to cool that, you know, that bracing madness is to write haikus. Because also, if you're like me, then you think Sudoku's for grandmas. And then, you know, on a regular Saturday night, if you suffer from these same afflictions, then you too might do things like go through all your yearbooks and take out all of your pictures with a box cutter. And right before you do that, you write a bunch of haikus, being really catty to your 16-year-old self. And they go a lot like this. The fuck were you thinking? You look like a Tim Burton character, dick. Hey, Lord of the Rings, apostles called. They want their beard and sandals back. Drop the tood, Nutella the Pudge. Those cowboy boots ain't hiding nothing. John Q, 2008 chairman of the Beards for Loneliness Club. And this is very apt for most of my life. Rake 'em in, champ. Don't read into her having all of your login info. That's it. Thank you.
I think I'm sick, Ian. I think I'm really sick because I have like these horrible jokes. But I'll tell you this one. Yeah, it's kind of racist. It's racist. Here it is. What and sexist both? You get both. Here it is. What's the most useless thing on a woman? A drunk Irishman. I mean, it could be said. You could say, what's the most useless thing on a man? A drunk Irishman. I'm sorry I'm being self-indulgent. All right. Oh, yes. I have to say it like that because the last time, like, I slurred this guy's name, and so everyone, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Josh Wiss.
Heyo. Sorry to come up here looking all haggard and stuff. I just got back from Phoenix, but I'm glad to be here.
Hey, you made it back.
Yeah, I made it in time. I'm feeling the lovey-dovey hippie type of stuff, so I'm gonna do some older pieces. Woo! For years now, I've planted seeds in seemingly random locations, looking for something more than survival, To watch something grow provides sustenance to my soul. I know that thirsty seeds drink to become sprouts, peeking up with foggy eyes at first light, predetermined and destined to grab at that glorious glowing giver of life. Plants are like people. For in a sense, their innocence does not exist. In order for one thing to live, another must die. This is true even of sunlight. It radiates in morning, bright in spite of lost life just living, giving all that it's got to give in this eternal exchange of energy. We are like plants. For like flowers, we grow from a seed and need nurture to nourish us, even if that's just a little food and water and someone to talk to sometimes. Even if we are but specific instances within a revolution and the system we define as time, that makes us special, everyone. Now, no matter how you were raised or which glowing goal or God you reach to, you are here now to hear me, and like trees, you have ears but don't speak. Before me, a forest of flesh unfolds, soaking in what radiation one voice can offer, though it is often I who needs nurture, so I sit silently, not glowing but growing toward a magnetic destiny, manifesting myself into something ticklishly tangible. We are like plants, but in no way does that make us simple, for every day has its noon, and every wave needs the moon to move. Complexity perplexes even the soundest of minds at times, which is why science can come up short, while this infinity around us never really has, or will. We may run out of sunlight when it decides to stop giving, and the lunar eclipse of exponential satellites may be inevitable living in this way in day of age, but at least if and when the end all arrives, we can pass on our energy, knowing that we were special, unique. You and me, you and I, who are so much less than specks astronomically. We are but a bit of black circling around an average-sized shining star, but you are special, for your eyes shine like the cosmos. Pupils of pitch dark reflect stars so infinitely far off that each of us must be a universe unto ourselves. Beyond the black up there lies an iris in full bloom, encompassing the nurture of one sun and a moon. We are organic, plants and animals, all liquid solids and gases, but we are more than matter. If anything, we are an instant, and I'm grateful to share all of this with you.
Woo! Yeah!
Thank you guys. I got one more for you. It's a shorter piece. Go on, grasshopper, unsheath those wings. Can you sing like the power lines and buzz like you mean it? I want to kiss your cheeks the way charcoal does paper. No plastic. It's too late to look back. We've already been turned on. Accidentally electric, the products of coincidental kinetics. Synapse branches snap silently in the woods. If our curse was of wax, then would you fly if you could? My honesty is pine needle naked. I'm all white sheets and no blanket. Love needs a matchstick to start. The black of your pupils holds a map to your heart, beautifully burnt around the edges and curled at the corners. Your chest is full of bright gems and new quarters that shine of a solar flare fantasy. A treasure that's yours alone to be sold. Wonders exist to behold, but we all seek the warmth to be held. So go on, sing silly secrets, converse with cricket concertos in lieu of a moonbeam. Make a museum of your memories, but be careful with the keys. Tie up your tongue, wring it out to dry, clothespin your misery, and then leave it on the line. You are too grand to be good, so don't stop at content. If that is understood, then feel free to commence, because today is your life, and this place is your paradise. Unfold your antennas and sing songs towards next twilight. Thank you.
Zona doesn't have thumbs, so she can't snap, so she's a supporter of Josh Wiss. Yeah. All right. So, let's go to a beer break. Go and refill your pint glasses. You gotta, we gotta lubricate this process, because lubrication is the key to success in all aspects of life. All right, beer break.
Alright, I'm gonna just say.
Exactly what he said.
I need to write you.
It's okay, but I love my voice. It was different. Yeah, so that was both.
I didn't want
And we're back. And we're back. So listen. So I'm just really, you guys freaking rock, man. I'm just, you rock. Next up we have, wait, Ian, I guess you were right. You did something different. You sabotaged me, Ian.
It's right there.
Okay, no. I'm just gonna no. It's my call. Listen. Ka! Everyone, give it up for Miss Gabby Jew. Gabby, please come up, my darling.
Does it feel like fireworks, he asked. No, I replied, avoiding questions of disbelief as if they scolded the roof of my mouth, because truth is the sweetness of hot cocoa and the pain of eagerness, how it lingers days after previous mistakes you forgot to learn. You only want to remember what tastes good before you remember the burn, so no. It feels more like rainy days, alone, on a vintage love seat for one. I've never felt explosions in my chest, wondering how long we're going to last on this fast track to imperfect endings. It never fails. I'm not referring to love here. It never fails that I find myself being catapulted onto unbalanced scales, staring at the weight of my guilt and your light as a feather, oblivion, barely hanging on to my cliff while you keep thinking about how beautiful the scenery is, and I am a masochist. Watching you strain the tendons in your heart, even though I don't have the stomach for it, knowing I can never love you, but still succumbing to compliments and how well people think we compliment each other. That was a short poem. On days like this, when the once beautifully bloomed trees behind your pupils become dead with the cold winters of your heart, I want to save you from yourself. I want so badly to prune the decay from your leaves, to leave you nothing but green, vibrant with life, the nutrient-dense love nourishing your body from the roots of your soul. I just wish I could save you from yourself. Plant you in new soil and watch you grow into your forgotten strength that has been fickle for too long for you to understand where it hides. The world has vandalized you. Carved wounds into your bark, leaving prominent scars the size of forever, littered the earth beneath you with insecurities and self-hatred, threatening your well-being while you watch helplessly as they demolish surrounding forest, gradually chopping you down. I need to save you from yourself, but I can't. All I can do is hug you, sprinkle love onto your desiccated branches along with fresh rain and attempt to cleanse toxic waste from your core until you can find your own inner strength to rise. You are not the damage that has become you, so rise. Grow into a life more than a forgotten stump. You are not a willow, but an oak. Do not let your branches hang so solemnly low that the wind controls the direction that you sway. Stand sturdy as an oak tree. Its seed has been lost, hidden, nestled between the veins in your heart and the tucked away corners of your mind, but know that it's there, waiting for rain and sunshine, hungering for you to nurture yourself into something you haven't yet realized you could be, so garden it. And I'll linger in your oxygen with hope to see you blossom with the flowers in springtime. You're going to be glorious if you really want to be. And I can't wait to watch you grow. Thank you.
Yeah. That's Gabby motherfucking Jew. Like a baller.
All right. Mr. Jordan, can you please make your way up here, sir? Jordan, where you're at. Everyone give it up for Jordan.
It's kind of an old poem, but yeah, here we go. Sometimes I want to stand on train tracks, simply to challenge the deafening decibels of oncoming locomotives. Snap vocal cords like guitar strings, like choir sing, like Baptist church brings hellfire and brimstone hallelujah. I want to challenge demons like Jesus, and challenge Jesus like demons, smash the fine china of communion to pieces in search of something less ritualistic and more rich and intrinsic, where connection is not a contradiction but eradicates superstition, leaving behind a realness that can be tasted in the wine and a wellness of battered and broken bread, unwind centuries of religious twine that covered the real stories. I want to ring in ears like the swift crack of guilty gavels, ringing in silent chapels that we call courtrooms, where we offer up burnt sacrifices with lifelong sentences, forgetting that Hammurabi's code was one of mercy. That an eye was not to be mistaken for a life, and a life was not to be looked at with eyes blinded by spite. I want my tongue to spill gasoline over the open flames of resolution, raising up armies of... I want my tongue to spill gasoline over the open flames of revolution, raising up armies of solutions to recurring issues of globalization, mechanization, and realizations that raping Mother Earth has left her impregnated with hatred for the result of our evolution that peaked in antiquity and has been rapidly digressing ever since, ripping holes in her purity like machine gun fire. I want to take a hammer to the box that Pandora hid inside my throat in hopes that maybe Elpis, the spirit of hope, might settle the smoke pouring out of my lungs, making me choke on this evil that I swallowed whole when I challenged the heavens to the shouting match. But tunnel vision like that apparently makes my pleas peripheral, dismissing me as another lunatic, strapping himself to the tracks for attention. But closing your eyes doesn't change the motion of your demise. It just makes you fucking ignorant. So hopefully the ground shaking from the hulking mass of metal hurtling towards me silences my screams. My pleas drowned out by the sounds of whistles, train horns, metal on metal. There's a train coming. Get the hell out of the way. Thank you.
Jordan, you gotta keep coming back here, man. You were here for like the first one, then you were here last week, and I just want you to keep coming back. That was awesome! So, coming up, our last poet until the next beer break is going to be the one, the only, the genius, the beautiful, the radness of face, Ryan Smalley. Come on down.
Thank you. It's like way, the last time it was just like slipping. I was like, oh, please don't fall. Alright. This is a poem I wrote while I was doing my menial shit job in Alaska. And it's about doing shit jobs, I guess. And so, take the twine tied taut betwixt toes and tips, tear terrorizingly. Grasp until groans aghast go gasping agape and aggrandizingly. Thus, the 1st and 15th fiscal fortnight fight fares forlornly for lonely loners. Lovely lies lived like luxury lessees, lost, dumbstruck. Debt demands deed, damned duty to death, divided by boredom or brutality, but beings break beyond boundaries, and so. Suicide seeds sown, such strange fruit branches show. The reaper needn't reap what's grown, deciduous. Setting suns share harshest harvests. Mark this narcissist. Marvelous offices offered us profits, delivered though heartlessly starting this darker scheme, farcically hardening dollar fiends, barter these paper means, heaving these horrid strings, needling greedily, stringing so easily, sleeplessly, weaving these glistening kerosene safety seam blanket sheets, reveling, raveling fabric of time.
Yeah!
And sewn, cut from cutaneous cloth, thimbleless, threadbare leather, we fabricate their well-being pyramid scheme forever, furthering fiefdom as foundation, fingers filed to disintegration. We lacquered the ladders to a gleaming sheen so pristine, rounded rungs rendered slick, resist any climbers, clever or thick. But shed no tears, 'twas never a fight, and hone no spears, we filled up on our trite. Our overlords hoard us, not torture us, told to us doldrums are sordid, thus shorting our fortune of courting with ennui, so fondly responding by pondering how would we break from the skin that we're in. We've got manna as media, it's bland but we feed on it. Even the meaty stuff gives us anemia, so we download our shows and we sip on our beer, smoke on that dro, hermetically sealed. Comfort in numbness, we go with the flow, while our minds go withered, stupid, and slow. Thank you.
Wow, one more time for Ryan Smalley. Dude. Black mamas beat a whole lot of ass with belts, wooden spoon switches, and make you go get your own switch. Go on across the street, boy. Fuck you mean go get my own switch? I mean, I love my mama and my grandmama, but I wanted to be like, Heifer, is you crazy? Go get my own switch. Wow. Wow. All right, everyone, give it up. Hey, give it up for my sexy twin brother coming to the stage. Ian, get up here, buddy. Come on. Regale us.
You fucker. All right. How many of you all here work in the service industry? Anybody? Yeah? All right, some waiters, waitresses, bartenders, coffee shop runners and baristas and stuff, yeah? All right, sweet. I think that you will appreciate this. Quarters. There are quarters all over the bar in pairs with Washington faces looking left because they are so ashamed of the person who left them there that they couldn't look me in the eye, not the way he does on paper. You see, paper is a proper tip. And if you get $1.50 change and leave 2 quarters, you are telling me one of 4 things. I'm a prick. You're an amateur. Or you're French. And yeah, that's 3 things, but I ran out of space. I'm just trying to say that the right thing to do is take care of the people who take care of you. So, if your excuse is, I'm broke, then you're too broke to be in a bar. Because you aren't paying for a beer. You are paying for an experience. A scene. I know this because a beer costs as third of much in the store as it does in the bar. So listen. You are paying to be a part of historical greatness. Bars and pubs are where we come from. Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations after years of arguing with philosophers, and Scottish pubs drinking sherry and wine, giving birth to modern economics. Martin Luther started the Great Reformation after nailing a list to a church door and proclaiming to his followers that one cannot discuss religion without beer. Bards spread tales of glory from Greece to Scandinavia in wine and mead houses, and everyone left a fucking tip. And now, God damn it, Washington is crying on my fucking bar. Sat down on a soggy coaster. So maybe I'm a dick and maybe I deserve a shitty tip, but I just saw the nicest bartender ever get $1 from a frat guy who ordered 10 shots of Jose Cuervo. So let's think about this. I might be having a bad day, but she smiled at a douchebag. And for that, she deserves paper. And if you want to leave metal, that's cool too. But be sure that you and Washington can look her in the eye. Thank you. And I got one more. This is the one that I finished, like, sitting down drinking beer. So, as usual, forgive me if this sucks. Outside of a person is a world to appreciate. Inside of a person, it is rather dark and kind of squishy. But we keep looking for what's inside of our fellow Homo sapien in a way we rarely think to wonder what's inside of a butterfly or a tulip. You know, they have character too. But I argue that we wear our character on our sleeves, and it's as okay to look at us naked as it is to look at my shirt. After all, inside, I'm kind of gross, unless you're really into that internal anatomy and physiology thing. I argue that it is right to see the rainbow, and I'm talking about our differences. And they're beautiful. And they're ugly. And I would prefer that we know that. Color blindness mutes the rainbow, and I'm okay with knowing the prism. In the same breath of the moon, I have been called a bigger lover, but you replace that B with an N. And a racist. And I don't know how I sit across those lines, except to say that I'm glad that to see that my brother from another mother has dark skin, because it's beautiful and rich and clear, just like his laugh. And the feeling you have, I have, when he holds us in a hug. I love living in a flower field full of tulips and butterflies and dragonflies and dandelions and spiders and thistles, because they're tangible and their colors are reflections of the sun. And so is everything I know about you. So look around. Isn't it beautiful?
Fucking love that guy. Love him. Wow. Some of the poets that have come through have like inspired me in my life. You know what I mean? Just like I'm dealing with bullshit, and like some of the random people that have gotten up here and just like said like crazy stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, it's been eye-opening. Joe, where you at? Joe, get on up here. Yeah, hey, get up here, buddy. Come on. Everyone give it up for Joe. I don't know how to, I don't know what to tell. You figure it out.
No, it's okay. I'm short. You don't have to adjust it. I was going to bring my beer up here for moral support, but I drank it all. And I feel bad because I don't have anything about tulips or anything, you know, happy or anything like that. So I hope you enjoy my first time here. I hate reading your profile statuses. The way you squat holding some drink with too much sugar with all of your friends. I hate your fucking teeth. I don't like them. They are too white. Your dad spends too much money. You say men treat you like an object. You are one. An IKEA lamp. Flat, cleverly designed, but cheaply built. Dimly lit and destined for the trash. You're everything I never want. But I can't decide if I dislike you because the whole world thinks you're pretty, or because once I did too. That's all. Thank you.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Hey, 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 hey.
Hey.
You're a virgin, aren't you?
I am, but the first time was wonderful.
Oh, yes. Hey, you always remember your first time.
This is my dog. Her name is Zona.
Oh, like Arizona?
Yeah, like Arizona. Don't let her fool you. She's a shithound. All right. So, next up is coming up a man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the most badass mustache in this bar, Evil Evan. Come on down.
The mustache is a work in progress today. It's not real nice, but it's all right. At 16, father is teaching to drive. There's no reason to speed towards a red light, he says. 7 years pass. I am running red late nights and finally aware of the metaphor. When speaking with a friend, he suggests that everyone is sprinting to their early 20s, and when we get there, finally take a breath, look around, we realize we've only run about a quarter of the race. You see, we have nothing but time. And I bet anything that time gets lonely. I know lonely. Been sleeping away from Kat, hoping she knows it's not her, but me. I am the retreating wallflower as of late. I am taking deep breaths. I am building a raft. My compass, a wishbone tuned to rain water. I am constructing a man whose father taught him many things. A man whose hands have grown callous, yet has learned to speak gentle. If time were a woman, this man says, she'd wear high heels on her birthday, take them off to dance, and seem trustworthy. Patience. I am patiently anticipating the coming of new things. I am zero expectations, easy to impress, even harder to let down. I am dreaming and driving again, noticing deer in my peripheral. That's 4 nights this week, just the other morning. I watched a blue jay die, and that was horrific. I smoke a cigarette for every answer I cannot find. I have mastered the art of the unwind, so now I restring posture. I am polite, the narcissistic anthropologist. If time were a man, the anthropologist says, he'd have thick facial hair, never look a day over 25, and speak bluntly, as if he'd seen this all before but couldn't make a single prediction. And I am constructing a man in this image, with clock hands and highway bones, with rainwater and street signs, and all those things people say which don't seem important, but will, one day, dot, dot, dot. I've got one more short one if you guys like to hear it. I've got 3/4 in my front left pocket, all of which are older than I am. I find myself wondering if the eldest knew love, a pinball machine back in 1969 perhaps, when they were both young and alive, and did the youngest know death? Only a year my senior, it wouldn't be a stretch, and did that middle child ever feel ostracized, or did he find comfortability in the herd of passerbys? And I wonder, isn't it ironic how we put Lincoln's face in copper? Do 1 in 4 pennies end up in penitentiaries before their 21st birthdays? When did the face of an honest man lose value in this country? When did corrupt currency gain a monopoly on our minds? You see, I believe liberty was sold at a police auction. You think our freedom fetched a good price, or Just enough for a few thousand pixels of pop culture dope.
I just want to be as awesome as you, and my mustache looks like a raper mustache when I like shave this off. I can't pull what, I don't know what you get. You're that certain je ne sais quoi.
We love you guys, and that's tough.
I love you. God bless you, and God bless America. Beer. Love you. Good night.
Legalize marijuana. America!